tranquil and enchanting sleep story crafted to guide you towards a peaceful night's rest. If you find yourself soothed by the whispers of the glade and the gentle rhythm of this tale, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more calming narratives. Before we embark on our journey into the heart of the glade, we will begin with a short, calming breathing guidance to help you unwind. If you prefer to drift directly into the story, you can find the timestamps for each chapter conveniently located in the description below. Allow yourself to settle into a comfortable position, whether you are lying down or simply resting. Let your body become heavy and supported, sinking into your bed or chair. Perhaps adjust your blankets or pillows to create a truly cozy and safe haven for yourself. This is your moment to release the day's concerns and welcome serenity into your evening. Imagine stepping into a place of quiet beauty, where soft moonlight filters through ancient willow trees and gentle whispers fill the air. Let us begin with a calming breath together. Inhale slowly and gently through your nose, as if you are breathing in the soft scent of the whispering petals in the glade. Hold for a moment, and then exhale slowly through your mouth, like a gentle sigh carried on the evening breeze. With each inhale, imagine drawing in the tranquil moonlight of the glade, and with each exhale, release any lingering tension or stress. Picture Rhian and Lunara, the gentle guardian, and her serene white horse, standing peacefully in the heart of the glade, their calm presence inviting your own inner peace. If your mind happens to wander, that is perfectly natural. Simply acknowledge any thoughts that arise, and then gently guide your attention back to your breath, or to the sound of my voice. There is nothing you need to do now, but listen and allow the story to gently carry you towards a restful slumber. Feel the quiet rhythm of the glade, the soft rustle of the willow leaves, and the gentle murmur of the stream. Let these soothing sounds and images envelop you, releasing any worries and inviting you to drift into a peaceful and rejuvenating sleep as we begin our tale of the guardian of the gentle glade. Chapter 1. Moonlit Vigil in the Glade. As the last blush of day faded from the horizon, painting the sky in hues of soft lavender and pale rose, twilight gently descended upon the Glade of Whispering Petals. A stillness settled over the ancient forest that encircled the glade. A hush, so profound it felt as though the very trees were holding their breath, in quiet anticipation of the night within this secluded haven, where the ground was soft with moss, and the air fragrant with the sweet perfume of unseen blossoms. Rhian began her nightly vigil. Mounted upon Lunara, her white horse whose coat seemed to absorb and softly reflect the fading light, Rhian moved with a grace that was as much a part of the glade as the whispering flowers themselves. Lunara's hooves, barely disturbing the mossy carpet, made no sound as they traced familiar paths through the gentle slopes of the glade. The air was cool and carried the delicate scent of damp earth, mingled with the subtle sweetness of honeysuckle, a fragrance that always seemed to deepen as the moon began its ascent. Rhian, with her long dark hair flowing softly down her back, wore a simple tunic of forest green, blending seamlessly into the tranquil surroundings. Her gaze, calm and observant, moves slowly across the glade, taking in the familiar details as if noticing them for the very first time. The flowers, in shades of lavender, pale blue and softest pink, stir gently in the evening breeze, their petals rustling together in hushed whispers, a language only Rhian truly understood. The stream that meandered through the heart of the glade murmured a constant, soothing melody, its waters reflecting the deepening sky like liquid silver. Fireflies, tiny sparks of gentle light, began to emerge, their rhythmic blinking adding to the glade's tranquil symphony. Each tiny pulse of light seemed to synchronize with the soft rustling of the willow leaves overhead, creating a visual lullaby that soothed the senses. Lunara, perfectly attuned to the peaceful rhythm of the glade, moved with a slow, deliberate pace, her breathing deep and even. Rhian could feel the gentle rise and fall of Lunara's flank beneath her leg, a comforting, rhythmic motion that mirrored the ebb and flow of the stream and the soft whisper of the wind through the willow branches. It was a rhythm of peace, a heartbeat of tranquility that permeated the glade and settled deep within Rhian's own being. She paused near the edge of the whispering stream, allowing Lunara to lower her head and take a slow, gentle drink. The moonlight, now beginning to filter more strongly through the willow branches, painted silver streaks across the water's surface, creating shimmering patterns that danced and shifted with the gentle current. Rhian watched the play of light and shadow, her mind quiet and still, simply observing the beauty that unfolded around her with each passing moment. The air grew cooler, and a soft mist began to rise from the damp earth, adding a layer of ethereal beauty to the glade. The sense of the night deepened, the floral fragrance becoming more pronounced, mingled now with the earthy aroma of the forest floor. Everything in the glade seemed to breathe a collective sigh of contentment, settling into the quiet embrace of the evening. As the moon climbed higher, casting its gentle silvery glow over the glade of whispering petals, Rhian and Lunara continued their silent vigil, their presence a quiet reassurance, a gentle promise of peace and tranquility that would endure throughout the night, ensuring the glade remained a sanctuary of rest and gentle dreams. Chapter 2: A Whisper of Unease. As the night deepened its embrace upon the glade, the moonlight, now higher in the sky, bathed the whispering petals in a soft, silvery luminescence. Rhian continued her gentle rounds, her senses attuned to the subtle rhythms of the glade. The murmur of the stream flowed with its usual tranquil cadence. The willow leaves rustled with their familiar soft sigh, and the fireflies danced their rhythmic ballet of light among the flowers. Yet, beneath the surface of this familiar peace, a subtle shift began to make itself known, a whisper of unease that only the most attentive observer could perceive. It began as a faint discord in the symphony of the glade. The whispering of the flowers, usually a melodious chorus of gentle murmurs, seemed to falter, the individual voices less clear, less harmonious. Rhian noticed that some of the petals, usually held upright, were drooping slightly, their delicate colours appearing a shade less vibrant under the moonlight. It was a change so subtle, so delicate, that it was more a feeling than a clearly defined observation. currently standing with perfect stillness, a statue of serene white in the moonlit glade, she shifted her weight gently, her ears twitching slightly, as if listening intently to the whispers of the night. She let out a soft, questioning nicker, a low, rumbling sound that was barely audible above the murmur of the stream, but in the stillness of the glade, it carried a note of gentle inquiry. Rhian gently stroked Lunara's neck, her touch a silent reassurance and acknowledgement of the horse's sensitivity. Dismounting with fluid grace, Rhian moved slowly amongst the whispering flowers, her bare feet sinking softly into the cool moss. She knelt beside a cluster of pale blue blossoms, their petals usually unfurled and vibrant in the moonlight. Tonight, they seemed a little closed, their whispers muted and less distinct. She gently cupped a flower in her hand, feeling the delicate texture of its petals, noticing a slight coolness that was unusual for a night so mild. The moonlight, too, seemed to possess a slightly different quality. While still soft and luminous, it appeared to flicker almost imperceptibly, a subtle shimmer that was not its usual steady, tranquil glow. It was as if the moonlight itself was mirroring the subtle unease that was rippling through the glade, reflecting a disharmony that was barely perceptible, yet undeniably present. Rhian rose and moved towards the ancient willow trees that formed a protective circle around the glade. Their silver leaves rustled softly in the gentle breeze, their sound unchanged, yet somehow, even in their familiar whisper, Rhian sensed a faint undercurrent of something amiss. She placed her hand against the rough bark of the oldest willow, feeling its ancient energy, its deep connection to the glade. Closing her eyes, Rhian focused her senses, drawing upon a deep attunement to the glade. She listened to the whispers of the flowers, felt the subtle energy of the moonlight, and sensed the gentle rhythm of the stream. The unease was still faint, a mere whisper, but it was there, a subtle discord in the otherwise perfect harmony of the Glade of Whispering Petals. A gentle, quiet inquiry was needed, a slow and deliberate exploration to understand the source of this subtle shift, to gently restore the Glade's perfect tranquility. Mounting Lunara once more, Rhian turned her towards the heart of the glade, her movements as gentle and quiet as the evening itself. The quest for understanding had begun, a tranquil journey into the subtle heart of the glade, guided by whispers of unease and the serene wisdom of the moonlit night. Chapter 3. The Trail of Silent Inquiry. Mounted on Lunara, Rhian began her slow and deliberate exploration of the Glade of Whispering Petals. Their pace was unhurried, almost meditative. Each step Lunara took upon the mossy ground measured and soft. The glade, bathed in the gentle moonlight, seemed to hold its breath, as if waiting to reveal its secrets in its own time, at its own pace. Rhian allowed herself to be guided by the subtle cues of the glade, trusting her senses to lead her towards the source of the faint unease. They moved first towards the whispering stream, following its meandering path, deeper into the glade. The sound of the water, usually a constant, soothing murmur, seemed to Rhian to be slightly less vibrant tonight, its flow perhaps a fraction less energetic. She listened intently, focusing on the gentle gurgling and bubbling sounds, seeking any subtle change in its rhythmic flow. The air cool and damp, carrying the scent of wet earth and the fresh, clean aroma of the stream water. Lunara, sensing Rhian's focused attention, moved with even greater care, her hoofbeats barely audible on the soft moss. Rhian leaned forward, gently stroking Lunara's mane, feeling the silken strands beneath her fingers. The touch was grounding, a reminder of the quiet strength and serenity of her equine companion, a shared calmness that deepened the tranquil atmosphere of their inquiry. They continued along the stream, observing the fireflies that danced above the water's surface. Their gentle lights blinked in their usual rhythmic patterns, yet Rhian noticed that there were perhaps fewer of them tonight, their soft glows a little less numerous than on other evenings. She watched their synchronized dance, the tiny sparks of light rising and falling in gentle arcs, a visual echo of the glade's natural rhythm. Turning away from the stream, Rhian guided Lunara towards the heart of the glade, where the oldest willow trees stood sentinel. The ground here was covered in a thick carpet of moss, soft and yielding beneath Lunara's hooves. The air carried the deeper, earthier scent of the forest floor, mingled with the ever-present fragrance of the whispering petals. The shadows cast by the willow trees were long and gentle, dancing softly in the moonlight. As they moved deeper into the shadows, Rhian observed the willow leaves more closely. They rustled softly in the gentle breeze, their silver undersides catching the moonlight, creating a shimmering, ethereal effect. The sound was still soothing, the whisper of the ancient trees a constant comfort, yet Rhian listened intently, seeking any subtle variation in their gentle rustling, any clue within their age-old wisdom. Stopping beneath the largest willow, its branches draped like curtains around them, Rhian dismounted once more. She placed her hand on the rough bark of the ancient tree, feeling its deep, grounded energy. Closing her eyes, she breathed deeply, inhaling the cool, fragrant air, allowing herself to become fully present in the stillness of the glade, seeking to understand the subtle whispers of unease that permeated the tranquil night. The glade was still peaceful, still beautiful, still a sanctuary of rest, but the subtle disharmony persisted, a faint tremor in the otherwise perfect tranquility. Rhian knew that the source of this unease lay hidden somewhere within the gentle heart of the glade, waiting to be discovered through quiet observation and a patient, listening heart, guided by the serene wisdom of the moonlit night and the gentle rhythm of her silent inquiry. Chapter 4. The Gentle Heart of the Willow. Drawn by an almost imperceptible pull, Rhian found herself drawn back to the base of the oldest willow, its massive trunk rising like a silent guardian in the heart of the glade. The air here felt stiller, the moonlight filtering through the dense canopy of leaves, creating dappled patterns on the mossy ground. The scent of damp earth was stronger here, mingled with a subtle, woody fragrance emanating from the ancient willow's bark. Rhian sensed that the source of the glade's unease was nearby, nestled within the ancient embrace of this venerable tree. She circled the base of the willow slowly, her gaze moving deliberately across the soft earth and exposed roots. Lunara followed her movements patiently, her presence a quiet reassurance in the moonlit stillness. Rhian ran a hand along the rough texture its weathered surface. The willow seemed to hum with a deep, quiet energy, a steady pulse of life that resonated through the glade. Kneeling near the base of the trunk, Rhian's attention was drawn to a small patch of earth, slightly disturbed and shadowed by the larger willow's imposing roots. Parting the soft moss gently with her fingers, she uncovered a tiny sapling, a young willow reaching upwards towards the moonlight. It was nestled close, almost too close, to the ancient willow's base, its slender stem and delicate leaves struggling for space and light beneath the overarching canopy. The sapling was small, its leaves paler than the mature willows, its growth appearing slightly stunted. It was reaching towards the moonlight filtering through the leaves above, as if yearning for more light, more space to flourish. Rhian gently touched a delicate leaf, feeling its fragile texture, sensing its quiet struggle for life within the shadow of its ancient parent. Understanding dawned in Rhian's mind, gentle and clear as the moonlight itself. The unease in the glade was not a threat, not a darkness, but a subtle imbalance, a quiet competition for resources. The young sapling, seeking its own place in the glade, was drawing subtly from the ancient willow, perhaps competing for moonlight, for nourishment from the earth, creating a slight disharmony in the glade's delicate equilibrium. The ancient willow, in its deep, unhurried wisdom, was not rejecting the sapling, but perhaps unintentionally overshadowing it, its vast presence unintentionally limiting the younger tree's access to vital energy. It was a natural process, the cycle of life unfolding in the quiet heart of the glade, yet it was causing a slight ripple in the overall harmony, a whisper of unease in the whispering petals and the tranquil moonlight. Rhian felt a wave of gentle understanding wash over her. The solution was not to remove the sapling, not to disrupt the natural unfolding, but to gently guide, to subtly assist in restoring the balance. The glade sought harmony, not perfection, and harmony could be achieved through gentle intervention, through a quiet act of care and understanding. Rising to her feet, Rhian looked at Lunara, her eyes reflecting the serene moonlight and the quiet understanding that now filled her heart. The path forward was clear, a path of gentle hands and a listening heart, a path towards restoring the perfect tranquility of the Glade of Whispering Petals, ensuring it remained a sanctuary of peace and rest for all who sought its gentle embrace. Chapter 5. Harmony restored, Vigil renewed. With a gentle sigh of understanding, Rhian began to carefully clear away the earth around the young willow sapling. Her movements were slow and deliberate, her hands working with a tender care that mirrored the delicate nature of the glade itself. She loosened the soil around the sapling's base, creating a small circle of free earth, ensuring the young roots had more room to breathe and expand. The soft, damp earth crumbled easily beneath her fingers, releasing a subtle, earthy aroma that mingled with the sweet scent of the whispering petals. As she worked, Rhian hummed a soft, wordless melody, a gentle tune that seemed to weave itself into the quiet rhythm of the glade. The sound was barely audible, a soothing vibration that resonated with the ancient willow and the struggling sapling alike. With each handful of earth she moved, She could almost feel the glade responding. A subtle shift in the air, a faint lightening of the underlying unease. Once the earth was loosened, Rhian gently guided the sapling's slender stem, ever so slightly, away from the direct shadow of the ancient willow's trunk. It was a minute adjustment, almost imperceptible, but it was enough to allow a clearer stream of moonlight to bathe the young leaves. She then carefully directed a trickle of water from the nearby stream towards the exposed roots, ensuring the sapling had access to nourishing moisture. The water murmured softly as it trickled through the earth, a gentle sound of life and renewal. Almost immediately, a subtle shift occurred in the glade. The whispering flowers seemed to lift their heads slightly, their petals unfurling a fraction more, as if sighing with relief. The muted colours seemed to regain a touch of vibrancy, their gentle whispers becoming a little clearer, a little more melodious. The flickering in the moonlight steadied, the silvery glow becoming once again calm and unwavering, bathing the glade in its tranquil luminescence. Lunara, who had watched Rhian's gentle actions with quiet patience, shifted her weight contentedly and let out a soft, contented sigh. Her breathing deepened and slowed, her body relaxing into perfect stillness once more, mirroring the restored peace that was now palpable within the glade. The air itself seemed to lighten, the subtle tension dissolving into a gentle, flowing tranquility. The stream's murmur seemed to deepen and enrich, its flow regaining a subtle vibrancy, as if energized by the restored balance within the glade. The fireflies, as if sensing the return of harmony, blinked a little brighter, their rhythmic dance becoming more pronounced, their tiny lights twinkling with renewed energy in the soft moonlight. The glade breathed a collective sigh of contentment, settling back into its perfect equilibrium. Rhian stood back, observing the gentle transformation, feeling the peace return to the heart of the glade like a soft wave washing over her. The subtle unease had vanished, replaced by a profound sense of harmony and balance, a quiet reassurance of the enduring tranquility of this secluded haven. Mounting Lunara once more, she resumed her peaceful vigil, their presence a gentle promise of lasting serenity in the moonlit glade. As the night deepened further, and the stars emerged to join the moon in their silent watch, the Glade of Whispering Petals rested in perfect peace. Rhian and Lunara, guardians of this tranquil sanctuary, remained vigilant, their gentle presence ensuring the glade continued to be a haven of rest, a place of quiet beauty, and an invitation to the most peaceful of dreams, as the soft whispers of the night enveloped all in a comforting embrace, inviting slumber to gently descend.